Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I was having some difficulties. I'm coming on 5 minutes early so I can talk to my mods. Hopefully, they'll be here any minute. Some of them have already been told. I have a special guest today. And hold on, I'm trying to bring up my tablet. Hi, Shalima. Looks like you're first, honey. I wish I had prizes to give out for that. First, second, third. Can you hear me, Shalima? Just want to make sure that this is fixed. Hi, Sasha Jade. So I've already told a couple of my mods. I came on a few minutes earlier to talk to the mods. So for this live, no more no bad talk, delete automatically, block automatically, or time them out automatically if they come in and start trying to say something. Hi, James. I'm waiting for my guest to arrive. Hi, Nikki, honey. Nikki, in case you didn't hear what I just said, if anyone comes in chat and says anything at all, hi, Jill. If they say anything at all that's like they're even trying to insinuate or start something, I want them deleted automatically. Hi, Lori, honey. I do not want any drama in here. Like I said, I'm waiting for my guests to arrive, and I'm a little bit early because I wanted to explain to my mods. This is going to be about a little girl whose mom, herself, and brother were kidnapped by the mom's boyfriend. We're going to get into that and share some information. She is a very, very brave little girl. Hi, Joy. Thank you, Lori. Yes, live chat reminder. This man I'm not even going to say his whole name, because he doesn't deserve the recognition. But his name is Jose Reyes. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say the rest of it. Um, he is a very vile man. He done some horrific things to this family and this poor child. Okay, gotcha. Everybody,
Hello.
welcome. Levi, hi.
Hi.
So I was instructing the mods, no drama in the chat and after this morning. If there's anything at all said that I wouldn't want in here, please delete it. And as far as that goes, I was explaining to them about this Jose Reyes. I said I would not say his whole name because he doesn't deserve it. He is evil. He is an evil, vile man. And what he done to this mother and her children is horrific.
Yeah. Um. So after I did the videos and stuff, I was thinking back and I was like, I don't know how many people here have watched it, but I think something psychologically triggered him to do what he did. And that's a whole nother concept of a lie, but he was the boyfriend,
Right.
and I don't know, they lived there since February, and beautiful family.
Yes.
I I don't know what changed, and no, you go ahead. I know always do your homework here, so.
Well, I'll be 100% honest with you. I've not done my homework as well as I would have liked to. However, I do have a few things that I think I have found. But before I do that, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
All right. So again, this was the mom's boyfriend who lived there with the children. I found some information. It's not facts, but I do believe they came from Tennessee to Alabama, based on looking at her information. Um, he was an illegal alien. He wasn't even supposed to be here. Um, and yes, like you said, something snapped with this man to bring this on, but he did some pure evil things. Starting with kidnapping all three of them, tying them up, then murdering the mom and the son. He did not kill the daughter, but he worked his way. He went to work and she worked her way by chewing and chewing. Now, she had braces on and she continuously was chewing at these restraints, breaking her braces. That had to be so painful.
Well,
But she was,
I think the braces were the reason why she was able to get away. Without
yeah,
them, I don't think with her regular teeth she would have been able to get out.
I agree. It was said that he was providing her with medicines and alcohol in order to essay her. I guess what he did to the mom and the son, not only killing them, but cutting them up into pieces. And I'm sure she saw every bit of that happen. By the way, she is only 12 years old.
Yeah, that's the part that didn't make sense to me. Like, she had no choice. She understood in her brain that she had no choice but to get out of there.
Yep.
And she's, we'll play when I'll bring up my video. We'll play it.
Yeah, because I don't know how. I had some videos I wanted to bring up, but I couldn't because I haven't learned how to do that yet.
I'm gonna play the one. I'll share my screen here in a minute, but I was gonna show your picture that you have for your thumbnail is great. It kind of shows who they are. They were a normal, regular family.
And
I
that,
don't know. Do you know if the kids are his?
no, they are not. From what I've read
Uh,
so far, they're not.
okay.
So that, I mean, that if you can find anything good in that, I mean, at least he wasn't a dad that did this to his own children. I think that would
Yeah.
make it even harder for the little girl to work through. Um, but that picture that I show, um, I don't know if I
Just
can put it on
here, I
here.
can. Here, I was getting my thumbnail for my.
Okay.
Oops, hold on.
So
Wrong button. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I
that's
have
the,
that picture.
yep,
Yep.
that's the mom, the little girl, and the little boy. Um, this is where they were living. This is the back of where they were living. I hope I'm
Oh,
showing it good.
they did do
Um,
it. So those. Why do the tarps? The tarps look like they're originally on the backside of the. I haven't gone in to do an update on the case. I've been busy covering other cases, but if you click the if you allow me to share, it should say
yeah, go
allow me
ahead.
to share.
Yeah. I
What you gotta
wondered,
do, what you gotta do then, there's different windows down at the bottom that like rearrange us.
mhm. You want me to
So there's
put this picture on the
yeah,
one? Okay, yeah, I can
yeah,
do that.
there you go. So that's the same picture. I just took them out of there and cut them out of there and kind of put it to where uh, this is the son, this is the mother, and then this is the one that ate her way through the restraints.
Hmm.
Um, it's sad. Like they're like even his picture that you have with him and her on the couch, like they look like normal people.
Yeah.
Uh, I just I don't know. Uh, what does it take for that to happen? Why? What circumstance changed?
Yes. It's beyond thinkable. But back, well, let's back to the house with the tarps. I wondered if part of that wasn't to cover the windows so people couldn't see inside those rooms.
Well, so I did. So I should have screen recorded from early on. So when I first went in there, when I first saw what was going on, it was a 2017, 18 version of where they live on Google Maps,
Hmm.
and there's houses all over the place. So how nobody heard what was going on is troubling to me. So
Yes.
they're like right behind her in the picture there. Well, I was pointing with my finger, but right here, there's another house like right behind them, like close enough that whatever he was doing, they had to have heard. Those walls are thin.
Absolutely, they are. I thought the same thing. Somebody had to hear a scream. They had to say, why aren't these kids going to school? Something. So if somebody saw that and didn't speak up, shame on them.
Yeah. So they did have the original, the 2017 or 2018 Google images there, but they were taken down real quickly. So like
Okay.
for people, because they didn't give out the address right away, they wanted to finish the investigation.
Right.
So they like immediately switched it to like 2000. I think they switched it to 2007 on the Google Maps. So there was the trailers weren't there then.
Right.
So I was searching on my one live to find the trailer, but
We
I
couldn't
wasn't.
find it. Yeah. I'll do some research into that too, because I would love to show like Google Map of the area to show what you're talking about with all these places that are close by. And the little girl, when she escaped, um, she actually was walking down the road and somebody picked her up.
Yeah, which good thing that he wasn't on his way home from work, because he was at work when they arrested him, so he had no
Yep.
clue.
She actually did that at a perfect time. Do you have the video? I don't know if you can bring it up and play it of the officer talking about it. I've got
Yeah.
it. Let's see. It's just better. Yours
Hold on.
doing it on screen would be better than me trying to hold my phone and show it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Hold on here 1 second, because I am looking for it right now. So past life streams. I got all videos.
And while he's finding that, I will tell you the stories that have come out of this are horrific. He, yes, I think I missed somebody's question earlier. Yes, there was the mother and the son was killed. The little girl was held captive. She escaped by chewing through her restraints with her teeth and braces. She even had broke her braces by doing that. Um, and let's see, what else was it I was going to address? I still have the C brain, so please forgive me for that.
You're fine.
Whenever
How
you're
you been
ready.
feeling? You been
I'm
feeling
sorry.
better?
I
I
am
said you've
feeling a
been
lot
feeling
better.
better.
Yes, I'm feeling a lot better.
Good. I'm gonna play it from mine because I don't know where the original video is.
Okay.
Which I just so you know, you can always play my stuff. I don't
Thank
barrel down
you.
on site.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, as long as you're doing it for good and not. I mean, you can
Not being
critique
mean.
me, but yeah, not being mean. I mean, it's about helping people, and like even this is like a big study. I mean, uh, you have this. Sorry, I'm over here pointing on our regular screen. This guy back here is an FBI agent. This guy works with the offices here. I don't know with the county. I don't know,
Alabama.
remember who this guy
In
is,
Alabama.
but I believe this guy is either another FBI agent or the U.S. Marshals, one of the two. But I know this
Right.
guy is the FBI behind here.
Because the
So,
U.S. Marshals are actually the ones who went to his work and got him.
well, I don't know. This guy might be a U.S. Marshal here. I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember what I saw on his shirt, but this guy is either um, FBI or Marshal, but I know
Okay.
he works directly with the sheriff's office. And
Right.
this guy I know is an FBI agent in the back here. So he kind of hides his face the whole time on
Right.
screen. I'm going to view it out so that you guys can hear this.
Yep, me too.
And if you can't hear it, then put a 3 in the chat. But if you can hear it, just don't put anything.
It's been a joint effort. Yesterday, about 8:26.
And it's all good. If you want me to pause at any time, just let me know.
Okay.
Our office received a call of a young juvenile female walking in the roadway in the area of 3547 County Road 34. I think most of you has been to the scene. During the initial investigation, from the information that we received and collected, we were able to arrest a Jose Pauline Pascal Reyes, address 3547 County Road 34, for kidnapping in the first degree. And he was arrested in Auburn on Somerville Circle by the Marshal Service and the Auburn Police Department. During this investigation, overnight investigation, processing the rest, we have found located 2 decomposed bodies that were found and currently at the Department of Forensic Sciences pending the identification. At this time, my district attorney, Mr. Jeremy Durr, will make some additional comments in regards to the charges.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thank y'all for coming out. At this time, we're looking at multiple counts of capital murder. along with kidnapping in the first degree. And of course, once we continue and finish our investigation, I feel certain that several more charges will follow. Thank you.
We will entertain a few questions in regards to, this is a very fluid investigation. Things are changing, and we do not want to jeopardize the identity of our juvenile until we get other information for forensic sciences. It'll be limited in giving you that information. So we have SBI with us here, also the DA's office, and also EMA, as well as my Chief Deputy Fred White, who y'all been dealing with yesterday. So hats off to them. They've been around the clock. We're still processing the scene. We'll probably be there the rest of the day with assistance of SBI. So I'll entertain a few questions. Be limited, please.
Rosanna Smith with WSFA. Are you all releasing the relation between that 12-year-old and the person in custody? And do you all know anything regarding your relationship?
We're not at that stage to be able to release that information, the kinship or relationship. We do not want to infringe on what's going on behind the scenes. Thank you.
Sheriff, according to court documents, this 12-year-old juvenile was tied to a bedpost for about a week, was drugged allegedly with alcohol, but somehow was able to chew herself free from those restraints, get out into that road, and flag down help. Can you confirm that information that is in the court documents? And what do you want to say about this 12-year-old's perseverance, sir?
First of all, what stands in the affidavit, we stand by that affidavit to be able to cure the kidnapping warrants. And I would say she's a hero, and it's one of those things that we want to get into later. We're getting her medical attention, and she's safe now. And we want to hear that way, and that's basically all I can actually say.
Have you been able to locate any of her family members?
We're not going to get into that right now.
He said that you expected additional charges. Is that because you expect to find additional bodies, or have you found additional bodies besides the two that you just mentioned?
I will say that we expect additional charges just based on interviewing all participants. That we feel that more charges will follow these.
And there was, as far as I know, there was no missing persons report out for this juvenile. Am I mistaken in that, or was nobody really looking for her?
Now, the first contact we had with her was yesterday morning when a passerby was able to stop with her, and they reported to us, so she was not considered a missing person.
Sheriff, the two decomposing bodies, do you know how long they had been there? What location of the mobile home were they found? And do you know if they are related to the little girl?
All this is pending the identification through forensic sciences. I'm not going to get into where they were found or who they are at this time. I hope you understand.
How difficult is it to handle a situation involving a young child like this?
As always, this is horrendous to have a crime scene of this nature, and also a 12-year-old juvenile to deal with it. This situation, that we deal with every day.
You all haven't known his or her condition.
She's doing well.
The suspect, where is he right now?
He's in our facility. We'll have a bond hearing for him on the first charge, kidnapping first degree, and then the additional charge will be a bond hearing by our district judge, Kim Taylor.
Has he given any statements to police?
We can't reveal that.
Do you know how long they had lived in that residence?
Probably since February of 2022. The information that we've actually been able to gain through the investigation.
Did he live alone, or did he live with other people?
There was other people at the residence, and that's basically all I can give you right now.
In court documents, his driver's license wasn't given in public record. Is he a documented resident?
That information, we're working on that now with Homeland Security. You see, I told you Homeland Security is working with us, so we're actually working on that.
When do you think you'll be able to provide additional information?
Probably by the end of the week is what we're hoping to. We're waiting on forensic scientists to come back with identification, so they're working hastily on that as we speak.
What time was she located on the road?
We received the report at 8:26 a.m. yesterday morning.
In the morning? And what do you want to say about, I understand it was a driver that located her and called for help. What do you want to say about that, Meredith?
You know, we always say something to say something, and one of those things that, you know, you really don't know what you're actually doing, but you're helping that young child when you're stopping there. You volunteer your services to do that, so we're very appreciative to the people that actually came forward and identifying and notifying us.
And mentally, this will be my last question. How are you and your staff holding up? I understand it's quite a horrific scene.
They're tired but persevering. They've done an excellent job. You know, you put away your tiredness, you put away everything else, and focus on having the results of this by arresting someone and charging someone. So that's how we look at it.
Hey, can you pause it for there a second?
Yeah.
So let's look at what he just said. See something, say something. That makes me wonder if, you know, and this is pure speculation, but it makes me wonder if people have come forward and said, well, we heard this and we saw this, but they didn't do it soon enough. And that's the whole reason I wanted to do this live, is to not, I mean, a lot of people want to do unsolved cases, but this particular case, you can go on and find so many like it. And there's got to be red flags somewhere that people saw. And to answer, I think somebody asked how long they had been together. I don't know how long they had been together, but evidently it's been a while, because some of the pictures I've seen with the kids were probably, I would say the little girl looked like she was 6-ish. So that would have been about 6 years. Now, I don't know that for sure. But the other thing is he did plead not guilty at his bond hearing. And I just lost what I was looking at. Let's see. I can't bring it back up, but what I do remember is that apparently there might have been some DV in the past. But I haven't seen his police report or anything like that yet.
Did they, he's being held no bond, right?
Yes, and the next hearing will be in January, which to me seems a long time away.
He's not out. I mean, he has 3 capital murder charges. So what happens in the state of, where is this, Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
So in the state of Alabama, when you do something like this to a child under the age of 14,
I'll be right back.
You get an additional capital murder charge. So that's why there is 3. So you have the mother that he smothered with a pillow, and then you have the son that well, not his son, but the little boy that he pretty much kicked and hit. And because the son was under 14, he's going to get an additional capital murder charge. I don't know what Alabama's law is as far as what happens when you get a capital murder charge, but I don't know if you just get life or you just get sentences, or if there's death penalty. I don't know. I did not look into it that far. I do know I did do another video on this, and it was a little bit like a reading of the news stuff that came out. So they did this press conference before they did like release the other information. But the interesting thing is that U.S. Marshals and FBI working here, and they had forensics back from the lab within like 48 hours. So they knew exactly who else was there, but they also had an eyewitness, which helped a lot for them to solve this one, where a lot of times they don't get the chance to have an eyewitness.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna look up real fast while we're talking, but you know, the charges that they had against him, I didn't understand to begin with.
Yeah.
But then I kind of looked it up and saw why they did it. But
Yeah,
this,
so they charged him. I'm confused by the kidnapping charge, but I think they can get away with the kidnapping charge. Well, he lived at the residence, so
right,
they can get away with that because he restrained her down. So that would be considered kidnapping in the first degree. The other two is abuse corpse. So 2 counts of abuse with a corpse, and that's because he dismembered them.
right.
Because he was trying to get rid of them. So those are hefty charges too. In Alabama, I'm in Alabama. Dartmouth says it's a death penalty state. So, but the prosecutors have time to put. Alabama is a death penalty state, but prosecutors have time to put it on the table. Yeah, I don't see how they wouldn't in this scenario.
Yeah, this was horrific. And, you know, some of the things that came out was that the way he killed the child, I think you said something about kicking him in the head, but he not only kicked him in the head, he kicked this child over and over and over and beat him. That's how the child died.
Yeah.
The mother, they said, died from having a pillow over her head and smothered.
So what I grabbed from the article so my other thing was after more details came out, I did I think it was like a 4-minute clip or whatever, but I read an article and kind of made it my own. But what I gathered is he was smothering the mother while he was kicking the boy.
Oh, wow.
I took from it. Which would make more sense, but I don't know. I wasn't there, but
Right.
It's just kind of gruesome because you have 2 kids that probably were, if it happened individually, they were probably fighting him, and I don't know. That's just a bad scenario.
I agree. I'm reading. I don't see anything new so far than what we've talked about. I would love to see, I don't know how we could see them, but I would love to see the court documents. I guess where he was arraigned.
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me ask somebody if I can share them.
Okay.
They're here, but hey, you're in chat. Do you just private message me if I can or can't show the court documents? I had I have the original documents. I just never showed them.
Okay.
But I didn't.
I understand.
I think they're still in here. Well, I see they're in chat, but I'll ask real quick. Just hold on one second. You know what I will do? If I'll message him, but it might take a minute. So
yeah, that's fine.
Oh, she said yes. So hold on here 1 second.
So apparently the mother with the 2 children was from Mexico and had moved or come to the US in 2017. She had requested asylum, although their claims had yet to be decided. So, not that that matters. He had already been deported by the US one time. And they said it's unclear when he re-entered the U.S. And they have been living in the home since February. I think we already said that, but I'm just going over some of the key facts. But their parts of their bodies were cut up into little pieces and put under the mobile home. Now, how did the neighbors not smell that? That I don't understand either. The little girl was taken captive on the 24th of July. And I guess she was held for a little over a week before she was able to free herself. It makes me wonder if there was any.
Well, how didn't they hear? Like, he had to use some type of tools to do it.
Oh,
So,
yes.
like, neighbors would have had to have heard. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But he did work construction.
Mm-hmm.
So I did find interesting that he did work construction, so he'd have access to tools.
Right. And he would have access to places that he could take parts of the body each day and hide them in different places. Exactly, checking convictions. If she'd not been able to escape, he definitely would have killed her also. I think she knew that. I think that's why she fought so hard. I just could not imagine being in the place that she was in, knowing that she saw her mother, her little brother, and herself being abused. And it makes me wonder if, had she been to school with bruises on her before? Did anybody see that? Had she been abused before this started? Maybe, again, just guessing, maybe he did this because the little girl told the mother and he was afraid of being found out. That's a possibility. We don't know at this point why. We may never hear him say why. They said she was doing well after she received medical care. And she had not been considered a missing person either. Like, nobody had reported her missing.
Well, that would have never happened because they lived in the residence together. So I
Right.
was when I did this live here, I was under the impression that because they were charging somebody with kidnapping. So I was under the impression that he took this little girl because it came out first, and then as more stuff came out, it was weird how kidnapping somebody. Whereas in this instance, it was kidnapping because he restrained her down, but they lived in the residence, so no missing person would have ever been filed, ever.
Right.
And
Unless maybe the children's dad, if they started wondering where his kids were at, where their mother was at, but it might have been a long time before that happened. Lori said if he's pleading not guilty, we won't hear anything like a why from him now. Yes, checking conviction.
hold on
She
one
is a
second.
okay.
I'll be right back.
She is a strong, strong little girl. To have endured what she did and to be able to have even through being drugged and alcohol given to her, she was still able to get free and have the mind thought that she needed to get free or she was going to die. And I would love to know the red flags. I'm sure later on there's going to be all kinds of talk. That's one reason I wanted to catch it while it was fresh, because there's always talk afterwards coming from every direction. But I do want to know what friends and neighbors, even family members said, what were the red flags? What do we look for in cases that we could be, we could be neighbors of or anything else? What do we look for in order to help law enforcement stop this from happening again? Hi, Kendra. Hi, Nikki. Darkness Exposed, checking convictions. Lori, Bling, Deal You Fits. I think I said Kendra. Outside the Box with Chloe Joe. Everyone, welcome. This is an honor to be doing this with Levi. It kind of was a joke in a chat about him doing it, and I had thought about doing it, and a mutual friend kind of put us together and said, hey, we're going to do this thing together. Hi, Savannah, darling. Yep, they were actually living there all together. Yes, the kidnapping comes from the girl being held against her will. I can't remember if somebody from Florida may know this, but there's a something that they can be charged with. Like if you're making somebody stay there, threatening to kill yourself. Oh, well, I guess that was okay. And it's I can't remember what it's called. Okay, Savannah, honey. Are you talking to me? What is that called? It's when you're making somebody stay there. You're not hurting the person, but you're just making them stay there by making threats. I don't know if Alabama has that law or not. Okay, baby, I'll check it when we're done. Or do I need to check it right now? Okay, go ahead, level.
Yeah, hold on here 1 second. I had a phone call that I took. Oh, here we go. Hold on here.
Felonious restraint.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Can you take?
Do what now?
Just click the remove button on the screen,
Oh,
the shared screen.
gotcha. Yep.
And then just give me 1 second. I'll tell you when to put it back up there. I don't want to dox myself. So.
Right. Okay.
Or the person that sent them to me. So hold on here 1 second.
Can you hear me right this second?
I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because somebody told me I needed to check something right this second. It couldn't wait.
Oh, go ahead. I just want to download these. Hold on here 1 second. All right. Hello, everybody. I can't see who's all here, but when I do have the documents, I have this one that I'm looking at here is motion for discovery, filed 8/4/2022 at 7:19 p.m., which I'll display once it's all good, gets back here. I have motion for prelim. I have, let's see what these other ones are. Another one, motion for prelim, and then abuse of corpse, and then capital murder. Perfect. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 4, 5. Cool. Are you there? All good? Sorry, that was my squeaky chair. So this is state of Alabama plaintiff. I can read it to you, and then when she comes back, we can show the actual documents. This is the defendant moves this court for an order granting him discovery. The motion is made pursuant to Alabama rules and procedures. Any written record statements made by the defendant to any law enforcement official or employee, the substance of an oral statement made by the defendant before or after arrest to law enforcement, any written or recorded statements which the state intends to offer into evidence as the trial made by co-defendant or accomplice, if any, to the law enforcement officers. The defendant further moves that the court, pursuant to his cited authority, order the state to investigate all the following impeaching information within the possession, custody, control of the state or existence. Arrest records prepared by the FBI, Department of Public Health and Safety. What is this? This is the motion for discovery. So basically, this document I'm looking at is basically they're going to dig into his whole life. FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, all of it. This was filed the 4th day of August. It's just a regular thing when you get arrested. This one here is the defendant's motion for a preliminary hearing. There is an attorney for the defendant. 2 attorneys, it looks like. Defendant's motion for preliminary hearing pursuant to the Alabama Rules of Criminal Procedure. The defendant shows unto the court that he was arrested and charged with capital murder, which is a felony offense. Therefore, the defendant respectfully requests a preliminary hearing under the provision of Alabama Rules of Criminal Procedure be held at the earliest practicable date. Respectfully submitted this the 4th day of August. Motion to permit open file discovery of records and file pertaining to case. This is a capital murder case. Rule 16 of Alabama criminal procedure provides for certain discovery to defendants in this criminal case. The Supreme Court of Alabama, it cites a Supreme Court thing here. Reasonings why they should be granted all the discovery. In the capital murder case, the definition of favorable evidence expands at the sentencing stage too far beyond what it is in any stage of any other type of criminal proceeding. Statutory mandate that a defendant shall be allowed to offer evidence of mitigating circumstances is another reason why broad discovery must be allowed. The prosecutor cannot screen files for potential mitigating evidence to disclose to the defendant, to the defense counsel, because what one person may view is mitigating, another may not. There you go. Oh, you're on mute, just so you know. You're still on mute, just so you know. I hereby certified a copy for going to district attorney's office. Yeah, so you're still on mute, just so you know. Yeah, that's the whole thing is that the girl's gonna have to deal with this the rest of her life. That's the heart of this whole case. You're still on mute. It's all good, just so you know. So there's another thing here, which is the complaint in the Circuit Court of Tallahassee, Dadeville County, Alabama, Tallahassee-Dadeville County, Alabama, State of Alabama versus Jose Reyes. Before the undersigned, I can't read this. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Before the undersigned authority personally appeared this day as the undersigned complainant, who, upon being duly sworn, states an oath to that he or she has probable cause believing and does believe that Jose Reyes, defendant, whose name is otherwise unknown to the complainant, did prior or to the commitment of this action on or about 7/24 at 12 o'clock a.m. Commit the offense of corpse abuse is this one. And that goes in on, there you go. Hello? I think you're still muted with the mute button. The corpse abuse on or about 7/24/2022, abuse of the corpse of the mother's name by knowingly treating the corpse in a way that outraged ordinary family sensibility, to wit, wow. I'd really like to see his phone or his computer. Now try. I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. All good. Murder. This is the murder, capital murder. I didn't read the rest of that thing, but I can see chat. What's wrong? I can see chat. I just can't click on anything. Pull it up on my screen here real quick. I can see you guys. Please, guys, show the girl some hearts, thumbs up. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me? I can't hear you now. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Oh,
I'll
you're-
wait. I had to switch from my phone to my tablet because
Oh,
I was having issues. So,
so I have
what
the
everybody was.
abuse of the corpse of the female, and
I'm
it's
sorry.
pretty gruesome. I didn't read exactly what he did, but it's in the actual documentation.
Wow.
Yeah, well, the way that he did it, that I said I would like to see his phone or his computer, because the way that he did it, he totally had to look up exactly how to do it.
Oh wow.
Murder, capital, kidnap, did on or about 7/24/2022, and I can send these to you all good. I will
Okay.
get them ready, and you can do what you got to do with them. I mean, this will be a good one to follow all the way through to the trial and everything, because I'm curious to see what happens. I mean, you have a minor as a witness, and I just don't know what they're going to do. It says so. This is I don't have the ones for the minors, so I don't have documentation of what he did with the minors because I think that those are sealed.
Right. That makes
Uh,
sense.
So the last one, the abuse of the corpse, is for the mother, and then this one is for murder, capital, kidnap. Did on or about 7/24/2022 intentionally cause the death of Sandra by striking with his hands and feet and smothering her with a pillow, preventing her from breathing, and he did cause said death during her abduction of an attempt to abduct with intent to use her as a host age due to previous acts. The suspect further tied up for approximately so it did, but what do you call it when they black them out? The
Redacted.
redacted. They redacted the daughter's name in here, so the son's report we won't have.
Right.
And attempting to abduct the daughter with intent to use her as hostage due to the previous acts. The suspect further tied up the daughter for approximately 1 week using alcohol and drugs to maintain control of her.
So not really a lot more than what we kind of already knew.
No, it just pretty much what happened is on the day that those news articles came out where they were all saying about the mother and about the kids, is they actually had their hands on these documents that quick. So,
Wow.
like, it moved along pretty quickly. I was saying earlier, and I don't know if you heard me, but they're lucky that there was they're lucky there was an eyewitness, because if there wasn't, then we wouldn't know any of this, and it would be just gone.
Somebody asked an interesting question earlier. I don't know if I can find it, but it was, did I think that he would be deported, or would he stand trial and have to pay for this?
Do you know if Homeland Security will be deporting him, or will he be sentenced and then the question mark? I don't think he'll be deported at all. He committed a crime here in the U.S.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know how that works.
I don't either, but I would think this isn't a slap on the hand, get out of our country type thing. This is a horrific crime you did. You need to pay for it type thing. And yes, I agree with Delia Fitz. I want to search his criminal history and see what's there, if anything, other than he has been deported before and came back into the U.S.
Well, my question is, so I've had a lot of questions. I just kind of kept them to myself. Is the mother documented? Are the kids documented? What happens if the girl isn't documented? What's going to happen to her? So, like right now, they have her, and she's in the possession of human resources, is what they call it there, which would be like child protective custody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's been through so much trauma. What do you do? Were they born here? I don't know. And
well, actually, you might have been on off when I was talking about this, but I did find something to where they actually came from Mexico to the United States in 2017. They lived in Mexico prior to that. And they had requested asylum, which makes me wonder, what is the asylum for?
That's
Were
interesting.
they in? Yes, very interesting. Is this guy part of some gang or something from Mexico, and they were actually targeted? That's something I really would like to find out. Like, if I don't know if there's even any way possible to see her request at any point. There will be. But yeah, like I said,
Did
they
it
came
say
in 2017.
Did it say from where in Mexico? Like what town?
I don't believe it did. I think it just said Mexico. I might be
Yeah.
wrong about that, but there's still a lot of research to be done. There was some guy that killed this little 18-year-old, and instead of putting him on trial for a murder, they just deported them, and then they came right back and they were walking the streets. That's something
Yeah.
else to research
But I don't think. See, I don't think that's going to happen here.
I don't either. And also with the 18-year-old that he killed, was it because he was driving drunk? Was it a car accident? What was the purpose of them not putting him on trial?
Yeah.
Okay, Lori said everyone from Mexico requests asylum. That way they aren't deported them right away. So she was trying to do things legally. He wasn't. He was here illegally because he had already been deported one time.
Yeah. Well, he had a job here, so I don't know how big or how good of a job it was, but he did work construction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having a backstory or knowing how long they were actually together, and I don't know where it said how old he was, but I could send these to you.
I want to say like 37, something like that, somewhere in that range.
So 6 years ago, you would have been 30. So roughly
31. Yep.
I'm just curious if he's ever done this before.
Has he ever done this? And I don't know if you were on when I said, maybe the reason he did this was because the little girl told her mom what he was doing to her, and the mom was going to leave him.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a big possibility. But other than the fact that he was just plain evil. But I want to look into further, maybe doing another live. I want to look into further about the red flags in this case.
I'm really interested. So there's this. So I'm gonna end up doing a live today, and I'm not too happy. But there's the case where the suitcase was found over here in Indiana, of the little boy, 5 or 6 years old. Like, they still don't have DNA. They still don't have, like, there's nothing on it. Supposedly they have a sketch. They need to release it. I saw it come across the Twitter feed earlier, and my thing is here in this case, yes, you have an eyewitness, but still you have to. By what I was reading in these documents is they were completely like down to, he was almost in the disposal stage. So, how do you identify him that quickly? And why is it not being done that quickly over here in Indiana for this little boy that was in a suitcase? I mean, it's been, I don't know, a couple months.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, do they
They
have that
actually
many
did.
crimes? Do they have that many crimes in Indiana that they are
No,
that backed up? You
it's
know,
out there in like a mushroom farm or something.
that's crazy.
I'm saving
Um,
these and I'll send these to you right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll check them out. And if you want to do another live later on, once we get some more information together, I would love for you to do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
um,
I haven't had a chance to. It is something I want to go back and look. The other one, I don't know if you follow everything that I do, but the Kyle Mormon case, where either he drove or somehow the car got into the water with his kids in it, and then his autopsy report is not back yet either, and he's from Indiana as well. And I've been searching every day to see when that is going to get released, because there. I just don't believe he just drove his car in and with his kids in there after fighting for custody of them. So,
yeah, that's another sad case. Like I've said all along, if you're a parent and you feel like you want to hurt your child, don't do it. Just leave, go into the woods, whatever. Take yourself out. You know,
yeah, let them.
and that might be
I mean,
cruel. Some people might think that I should say they should get help, but no, if you feel like you're going to harm a child, just go take yourself out. That way there's nobody, no child at risk from you.
yeah.
Broken Justice said the 18-year-old that they deported the guy. He chose an innocent victim. She was made an example out of a drug deal, and they videotaped it. They cut her up while she was alive. Then the bad, and they still didn't. They did not try him. They deported him for this.
Yeah, but what state?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, what state was that, Broken Justice?
Was it Texas or like? Just depending on what state and what they. 1, 2, 3, 4. Motion to permit, motion for discovery. Yeah, there. I sent them all to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I will definitely look into it. I want to look into the red flags. I want to look into, follow it through, what happens to him, what he's charged with, that kind of thing. How quick does Alabama execute the death penalty once they get the death penalty?
A good thing for you to research that I've had these court documents. I just haven't done anything with them yet. But the one thing to research is in Tallahassee County, have they ever done the death penalty ever before? So it might be such a small place because Dadeville is out in the middle of nowhere. So I think it's going to take some time.
Yes.
You're talking about small towns, not prepared for something like this, and a once in a lifetime crime committed here in for some people's lives, and meaning like law enforcement and stuff like that. They've never seen anything like it, and I could be completely wrong, but it would be interesting to know what their stats are, and that's going to determine how fast that they move. So if they've been through this process before with other people, then the process will probably move quickly. But
Well,
if they
I'm
haven't,
looking.
then it'll be like a
I'm
long
look.
time.
I'm looking at a thing right now from Alabama about the inmates that are on death row. 1982. It's how far back this one guy goes that he was put on death row, and that was in Montgomery County.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it does. That's a long time for someone to sit. I understand the whole process of, yeah, they need to, get their appeals and everything in, but when you've got so much proof against them, like in this case.
Well, that's the thing. There's a witness in this one. It's not like you have all the evidence and then you don't have a witness.
Right.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yep. Definitely want to follow this through to the end. Definitely
I
want to
guess
do one or two more lives on it.
the problem. Another thing to think about is so how old is she? 12.
Yes.
So as a 12, I mean, this poor girl.
Yes.
How is like a written statement's going to be enough for them to do what they got to do, or they're going to have her testify? And if they have her testify, is she going to be able to do it?
Exactly.
So there's a lot of.
And are they going to deport her?
Well,
now that
I don't know.
Does she have family in the U.S. or is all her family in Mexico? There's a lot of questions that's going to have to be answered in the next few months. And being that he doesn't go to court again until January, we may not get anything other than what we have right now until he does go to court again.
Yeah, they'll probably be dragged out longer than that. But I will say this: she is a witness, and there's no way that right now that if they were to deport her, there's no way. I think her mother was smart enough to do the asylum stuff. But I don't think by law that they'll be able to do it. The problem being is there relatives here? If there's not, then I just don't know what happens.
Yeah, she could be placed with a foster family here if there's no relatives or anybody close friends enough to take her in. And I guess I'm sure she would be in the witness protection or whatever for
Looks
at
like
least until the
Fit.
trial.
Delia Fitz says he has a court appearance on the 30th. I imagine that the different charges might, I don't know if they'll group them. Like this one has pursuant rules of criminal procedure, the defendant shows unto the court he was arrested in charge of capital murder, which is a felony case, and then it has all three charges. But that is separate from the other charges. So the capital murder is separate from the other two charges. So I don't know how Alabama works. It is definitely something to look into and learn.
I'm looking up right now. I'm looking up the court calendar for there to see how many court dates they already have on for him.
You see what Lori said? And I believe that to be true.
I haven't looked at the law lately, but they were stopping deportation of children. That's why many are sending their kids over without the parents. Okay. Yeah, I don't see her being deported.
I don't either.
Now, I could see voluntarily the dad, if he has been in their life, I could see him coming over and wanting to take her home or back to Mexico with him.
Or maybe he's already here. I don't know.
That's true. And they're holding that close.
Yeah, we won't. I don't think there'll be any documents on that, but you should be able to find some stuff with the stuff I sent you. The problem is a lot of the people. There are a lot of people with the same names. So Jose Reyes is going to be a hard name to look up. It has his other two names in there, so you might be able to pin it down.
Yeah, and looking at this is probably going to be near impossible because, unlike North Carolina, I haven't seen anywhere that you can actually put their name in. It's like per what judge and that sort of thing. But I'll look into that some more.
Yeah. Well, there's the documents I sent them to you. They where you sent me the link for StreamYard, and then they have the actual court the actual case numbers in there, so you might be able to search that way.
Relevant clips. So Lori, children coming in alone is horrible. My brother works for the Border Patrol, and that's what he is assigned to, the children. It's so sad. I think Mexico needs to listen to their people, their citizens, and find out why so many of them want to leave and try to fix it. I don't know. That's another whole conversation about illegal aliens, and that's a whole nother thing that you could get into. I will say that, I don't have a problem with people coming to the US. I just feel like that it needs to be done legally.
Well, they come here for a better life, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as there's procedures to do it that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all got here somehow. Like my ancestry came from Germany, so my great grandfather came over the boat on a boat and landed here, and that's how I became as I was born here. But he had to go through a whole process at one time too, and almost everybody that, unless you're Native American, you pretty much weren't born here. So at some point, somebody came from somewhere else.
Right. Exactly.
So
that's
that's a whole nother.
Where this goes. Yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my 170 indigenous people that went missing. 2 were found. There's still 168 down in the Navajo Nation that I've been working with a team of people, and we got all the posters are finished. Trying to get them over to the radio guy so that he could start reading them off. And there is a FBI translator. Hopefully they can get them translated into their own language so that they can get the names of the people out.
Okay.
So that's a whole nother thing. And that is the FBI stepped in down there. That's going to be going on for a while. And that's Arizona and New Mexico. Is the field office is New Mexico's field office. So that one will boggle your mind for a while on that one.
Yeah, I've heard about that. So that's definitely gonna be something interesting to look at of yours.
Well, I put all the documents. Well, I went and took as much as I could find in the one live and did it in one live. And then towards the end, I read every 170 names off of the actual FBI sheet. And so you don't have to watch it through the whole thing, but at least get to that point, because I read the documents that were out at that time. So you can find them easily that way.
Okay.
So I think there's been more development since then. So, all right.
Said that something about that the females are rosed by the cartels on their way over. That's another interesting, probably another whole live. That's interesting though. Um, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you everybody in chat for being here. I got to leave in about 5 minutes to go pick my hubby up, but this was awesome. Um, we'll get together and we'll do another one to follow up with this and see where it
Yeah,
leads.
stay on this because so I'm growing platforms and I can't be everywhere at one place and I can't cover every single case. There's so many out there that
Absolutely.
stay on this. And if you get stuck with something, don't you know how to get a hold of me now.
Yep.
Don't hesitate to ask, hey, can you look at this? Because uh, that's what we're here to do is to help one another. And if you run across something else that needs to be put out there, we have channels to do it. So
Yep. I
definitely
appreciate that
stay
so
on it.
much.
Yes. And
This is
keep
where
up
I
the
want my
good.
channel to go. I want to get away from all the drama, the negativity, all that stuff. And this is what I want to do.
Yep.
Part of what I want to do, but yeah.
I know. I was watching
So,
you when you first started your channel and you were showing your notebook of
yeah.
notes. And
Yep.
I said, just a matter of time when she's ready to start doing stuff. I was there at one point a long time ago and
Hmm.
didn't do anything for the longest time. And when you're that invested and can show good content, it'll pay off. It just
I think
is.
so.
It takes a little bit of time, and I try to get people up to 500 subs. I share out as many channels as I can, so that at least you can get a community wall. I think that's the stupidest rule on YouTube is as a creator you get stuck at whatever subs, and then you're not allowed to have a community wall when you're trying to do. They should make it so that you have to apply for one, and then like
Right.
it gets monitored that you're using it for the right reasons, and
I
that
agree.
would be the best thing. But to overturn what they're doing is not going to happen. And the biggest thing is getting people to 500 subs. So if anybody is watching this in the future, subscribe. You don't have to like what you're seeing or anything. It's just about getting uh, to that community wall so you can start putting out relevant information on missing people, cases like this where justice needs to be served and to help. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I hope
you're
you have a
welcome.
wonderful rest of your day. And we will talk about this later.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. This was wonderful. I really needed this. Um, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will be doing another live to follow up with what we've already talked about on any new developments. And if I can figure out or find any of those red flags we talked about. So, y'all have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you all later. Much love to everybody.